Fellow Pebble Droppers and newcomers alike, thank you so much for being here. I just want to say for each person who keeps coming back, trying to learn and cultivate themselves, you inspire me just as much as I hope I'm inspiring you. And if you are new here, we welcome you, and we recommend that you watch our first video, The Pebble Effect. This will give you a little more insight into what we're doing here. Also, if you want to learn the moves that I'm doing, feel free to watch the playlist series Into the Flow, The Moves Basics. Keep in mind though, you don't have to follow along what I'm doing. Just as long as you are flowing with the music, that's just fine. And just a little reminder to everyone, please stay to the very end of the video to see what our Pass It On challenge will be for today. And also, it has to be said, please remember to like these videos and click the bell notification. This really helps our outreach. So our concept for today is about originality, or more or less what it means to be an original individual. Pablo Picasso is the one we are quoting today, who said, "There are more copies than originals among people." Let's see what he's talking about. I'll see you in the flow.
We embark on today's journey by synergistically aligning our minds and bodies to enter into the flow. Keep in mind, our paths may diverge. There's no need to follow my movements if your body wants to take you somewhere else. Your only task is to keep moving and to remain receptive to the positive influences that are about to emerge. Now let's get into the flow. Let's face it, there's a lot of people on this planet. Not only that, think of all the people who ever existed. Out of the endless sea of faces, only a small sliver of us are renowned for what we have done with our time here. It's easy to think originality is destined to only a few, and the rest of us need to conform to the cookie-cutter mold of society's norms. Each of us are here for a reason. We all have the capacity to leave a mark on humanity, however small it may be. We only need to break the mold. Being original means that an individual has the power of independent thought and constructive imagination, or in a nutshell, doing things your way, putting a flair on things that you can call your own. Humans tend to misconstrue originality with the idea of having a novel thought or an invention that changes the course of history, like the smartphone. What people miss is that every idea and every invention was not somehow pulled out of the ether. They were the amalgamation of past ideas, inventions, and technologies. Or in other words, they took things that were already there, combined them, and shaped them into something unique. The opposite of originality is conformity, and unfortunately, like Picasso stated, most people fall into this category. The reasons for this are many, but to funnel it down, it's because of either self-doubt or fear of rejection from society. The idea for most is just to blend in and go about our time here unnoticed. If you like living this way, then there's no problem. But many feel the yearning call to be something more than another indiscernible face in the crowd. We hold ourselves back for we think it's not within us to be original. We will feel like imposters trying to fake our way to relevance. But the true imposter is that part of you saying you don't have what it takes. How can we be more original? First, have adequate time spent alone. When we go introspective, our minds start wandering, allowing the imagination to make connections from the random stream of thoughts that naturally bombards the psyche. The more you do this, the more comfortable you'll be with independently thinking, void of societal influences. Second, be courageous. This is both welcoming and at the same time threatening to many when they see someone speaking differently than the way conformity dictates. But anyone who ever made a difference inevitably ruffled some feathers. This is just par for the course. Practice courage with small things at first if you must, but don't back down. And last, have pure intentions. It's by no means selfish to want to somehow profit from your originality, but it shouldn't be the main driver. The main driver should be to make this world a better place with your contribution to it. It's astounding how much impetus we gain in breaking the mold when we do it from a place of caring. It's now time to say, I break the mold, I change the world. 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 I break the mold, I change the world.
As we depart from today's practice, let's all take a moment to feel gratitude for willfully taking steps in making our lives more fulfilling. Now, let's get out there and start something.
All right, we made it to the very end. Thank you for sticking around to see what our Pass It On challenge will be for today. So our challenge is, do one small thing today that you are afraid to do. And remember, I break the mold, I change the world. See you next time.